All right, what is going on, Soccer Card fans? Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day. And today, we're here to talk about numbered cards versus rookie cards of Legends. So, essentially, what we'll be doing today, I've always heard the conversation around ultra modern products, stuff made in the last 5 years. A big part of people's rationale for overpaying sometimes is that, well, it's numbered, I know how many are out there, and thus I also have more of a connection to how much it should matter because it has a number that, and given that number, I know where it stands, right? So today, I wanted to go through and basically compare, well, how many rookies of some of these older guys are out there collectively and compare that to just the numbered cards of the newer guys alone. And I feel like that'll give a good barometer as to where these stand. I didn't come into this with prior info looking to have it lean one way or the other. I just matched up players that I felt like made sense and then went and found the numbers, and that's what I'll share with you guys today. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So I've explained a little bit of the premise so far, but basically having numbers on your card gives you certainty, but that can also be deceiving because, as we'll come to find out, there's a lot of numbers out there that get sort of segmented off and then somewhat forgotten about. So on top of that, having rookies lacks certainty in the sense that you have no clue how many are out there. If there's more being found in Brazil or Spain or Argentina or wherever it is, that will add to the supply that is there, while with numbered stuff, you'll never have that. But there is proven demand for these guys. So we'll be talking about GOATs that even if there is more supply, presumably there would be more demand, and so we'll go with that. But let's go ahead and get on into it. As far as the players that I'll be comparing right now, I'm going to have to move my face around because I did not plan on having a webcam. But here's the comparison. So the first one that I did was Ronaldo and Maradona compared to Mbappe. The reason I did this, in my opinion, there's four GOATs. You got Pele, Ronaldo, Messi, Maradona, whatever order you like. Personally, Messi, Maradona, my top two. But basically, I wanted to get all four of them in here just so then I wasn't leaving one out, and so it wasn't biased in one way or another. And Ronaldo and Maradona are basically the two lowest pop of the four GOATs, so I compared it to the lowest pop of the prospects, which is Mbappe. Then with 2019, we went with Haaland, while he's being compared to Pele, since Pele has less rookies than what is going to be the final comparison of Messi and Gavi. So that's what we're going to do for the 2021 class. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on into it. So for the low pop comparison, we have Mbappe. Basically, what I did for his numbered stuff was I added 2017 numbered stuff to the 2016 PSA 10 sticker. Reason I did this is because it's somewhat debatable. I mean, if you wanted to say, Mbappe numbered rookies, there are none, technically, because in 2016 there were none. But obviously a lot of people think 2017 numbered stuff is Mbappe rookies. So I count those two things together because the PSA 10 2016 are really expensive to the point at which they're basically, numbered items. So combining those, we got to 1,330 total cards/stickers, which isn't terrible, as we'll come to see. But on the other side of this, when you compare it to Maradona and Ronaldo, Ronaldo has 870 of his rookies graded between BGS, PSA, and SGC or CSG, while Maradona has 375. Collectively, if you added Maradona and Ronaldo up, it would still be lower than Mbappe, which goes to show here how low pop Maradona and Ronaldo truly are in the world of, soccer legends. The Mbappe number I thought was a bit low, to be honest. I didn't know how high it was going to get. But honestly, I knew of Select, I knew of Topps Chrome, I knew of Topps Museum, I knew of the sticker, so I thought maybe I'd find some other stuff because I'm not too well versed in his market, but there wasn't anything else out there. So for 2017 stuff, only having 1,300 numbered variations isn't that much, and that's Mbappe, which is going to be one of the most plentiful of 2017. So now moving to the med-level pop comparison, we have Haaland and Pele. As you can tell, Haaland does kind of dwarf Pele here. With Haaland, he has a lot, and I mean a lot, of Topps Chrome Champions League parallels. You can see 1580 there. I will say, I start with Haaland and beyond with these guys. I do start counting the unnumbered stuff as numbered. Essentially, when you go through the checklist, it'll say numbered out of 250, then there's another numbered out of 250, and then there will be an unnumbered one, but it has the same pack-ons, so it's really out of 250, but it's not actually saying it's out of 250. I count that in there because for me, if you're going to want to be treated as a numbered card, well, I'm going to treat you as a numbered card and put you in here, right? Like with Mosaic, for example, Peacock isn't numbered, but people still pay a pretty good premium for Peacock, so that gets added. Stuff like that, right? So with Haaland, 4,700 I thought was really, really high. I never knew there was that many out there, although with how many Bundesliga releases he did end up having that year, does kind of make sense. Personally, I really do lean towards the finest type of items for Haaland in the sense that I want Salzburg kits. I don't know if long-term that'll play out. I think if Haaland does become, a truly historical player, that having his first club will carry a premium. But if he falls off in a few years, then his market may never reach that point at which people do care, or maybe they never care in general. But that is one of the things you have to think about, is once you start to get up to like 5,000 numbered items, then that's a lot of numbered stuff. So you have to start wondering, well, what sets are people going to attack? And that's where you really have to start thinking. But as far as MedPop comparisons, I mean, here again, Pele's already priced as if he is the best of all time, which is what most of the market says. So to be honest, it's not something of, oh, well, instead of buying Haaland, you should go buy Pele. But in some instances, there are people spending Pele-type money on Haaland. Usually, if you're doing that, you have the money to do it. I guess one of the underlying premises of this entire video is you can gamble on young guys. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure you have some GOATs, right? Offset it. Because as you can tell here, the GOATs, at least so far, have a lot lower pop. When we get into high pop comp right here, we have Messi and Gavi. This is actually much closer, I will say. So, Messi does have a lot of rookies. When you look at Messi's market, he has way more choices, I guess, than most. Pele actually has more choices, but a lot less quantity of those choices. But here, as you can tell, Gavi is a 2021 rookie. I mean, I was pretty shocked that honestly you can still get up to like 8,000. I don't think Gavi was in as many cents as some of the other higher profile rookies from that season, or even the 2020 season more so. 2020, there was a ton being printed, tons of tops now to tons of stuff like Jude and Pedri and stuff like that. I think that they would be much higher than Gavi. But Gavi alone, basically 8,000. Messi rookie cards, 7,300. Now, one thing that you can say throughout all of this is that the pops for the numbered stuff is never going to go up, while the pops for the older stuff will go up. And to that, I say you are correct. That is very fair. But if the soccer card market is to be operational for a long-term future, well, there's going to be added demand endlessly for the GOATs. Whether or not there's added demand endlessly for the guys that we're talking about comparing to, that you don't know. So I took myself off screen for this one, but we did have the community guests over on Instagram. If you're not following me there already, make sure to link down below. Always posting stuff on the story, posting cool cards too. As far as what the people guessed for Mbappe, 1,330 was the total number as we know, and a lot of people were within that ballpark. Most people guessed between 1,000 and 2,000, which was correct. I'd say it was about 50-50 on people being above or below. If anything, people were a little low, but not too much. So people had a good idea for Mbappe, how many sort of parallels out there for his 2017 year. For Haaland, we have the 4,700 number, which I think took some people by surprise, myself included, to be honest with you. But I guess, to be fair, I'm including the non-numbered stuff that's basically numbered. So maybe if you took that out, the community would be closer to right. But even then, I still don't think it's as close as we'd like to think. Anyway, I mean, it almost was at 5,000 plus, which would mean only 16% of people would even have guessed that high. To be fair, it did land in this 30% margin, but very, very high in that spot. So I think only 20% of people would have guessed this high. 80% of people probably would have thought it was lower. And then finally for Gavi, this is what kind of surprised me. I guess it's Gavi, so maybe he just didn't have the population in terms of numbered cards that some other people might have or would have. But he did end up on the lower end, which I guess if you're looking into more modern guys is a good thing, especially if you're willing to put in the effort and find guys that maybe don't have as many parallels as others. That is going to allow you to maybe get in where the market thinks you can't, because as we can see here, about 80% of people would have thought that this is a higher number than it is. And overall, I kind of found myself with everyone else. Mbappe, I feel like I would have been around there. Haaland, I was really surprised with in a bad way. And Gavi, I was kind of surprised with in a good way. Although, again, had I put in Pedri or Bellingham or something like that, I feel like it would have been about what the community was thinking. As far as the takeaways, we have them up on screen. We'll go through them quick. The first one is that numbers are on the rise. Obviously, we all know this. As time goes on, they keep going up. But more importantly, unnumbered cards are also growing. So keep an eye on that. I know that numbered cards is kind of what we associated with, the high price stuff, but even unnumbered cards get that high price. And you know, this is how the companies try to hide what they're doing, you know. Oh, we only put out 10,000 numbered cards, but then they also put out 10,000 more that aren't numbered, and then they keep adding these chases without really telling people. Also, the ratios weren't terrible. There wasn't a lot of instances where one absolutely dwarfed the other in what I did today. Now, I tried to, you know, align them to the point where that probably wouldn't happen, but other than Maradona, who's really, really low, nothing else really was that apparent, I would say. So I didn't think the ratios were awful. If you wanted to buy a modern guy, I wouldn't scoff at you for doing it after watching this or putting these numbers together. That's my opinion. You make your own. Number 3 I have is that the set is hugely important, and this is something that is going to matter with parallels, right? Like I showed earlier with the Topps Chrome, you know, whenever they have that many parallels within a set, maybe at that point that set's just kind of, I don't know about it. You know, people kind of pull back and maybe start going for other things that have a much more condensed set list or parallel list. But that's what sort of leads me into something that I feel like is a warning people need to hear, right? So I think that people should look at numbered cards and speculating on these low pop items in the same way that they should speculate on rookies, right? In the sense that everyone thinks that the parallel they have, the number they have, the rookie card that's this color that they have is the best, right? And when everyone has something that they think is the best, reality is it's probably pretty common, right? And so I feel like it's a lot like the rookie market, where in the rookie market, we all sort of accept, you know, we're overpaying, but we don't know what's going to pan out, and the price could be the moon. So when there's that high of a opportunity and there's uncertainty, well, people probably overpay, especially in a market where people like to gamble and take some risk, like cards. So I think the same thing going on with parallels, right? Long term, no one really knows. Right? No one knows. And because there's low numbers on everything is like anything almost is under 300. Most things are under 100. So when there's that low of number, everyone in their head can be like, oh, that's rare. That's rare. That's huge. This is big. But it might not be big, and it might not matter as much as people think it does. So set's going to be largely important. And I warn people about that because I think it's a gamble, just like prospecting is. And then finally, GOAT rookies are basically numbered cards. That's what I got away from this, and that's what I was hoping to get away from it in a sense. That's what I wanted to see was, how does this compare? And essentially what it's telling me is that, yeah, they're basically numbered cards that aren't numbered. Which then makes me wonder, if all these numbered cards of these young guys didn't have numbers on them, like they were really rare, but you never knew how rare they were, would they be worth this much? To which the answer is obviously not. People need that certainty. But that's the thing. If you want that certainty, if you want the ease of buying into a young guy and knowing exactly what you're getting, if you want all of that, you're going to pay a premium. And that's a premium I personally don't feel like it's worth paying most of the time. Now, of course, I have lots of number cards. I collect USMNT guys. I even flip some. So yes, it's a necessary evil with Ultramodern, but obviously we all like to go about this differently. And if you're having fun, that's what matters. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and gotten something out of it. Would love to hear your thoughts down below in a comment. If you guys want to see more videos like this as soon as I go live, make sure to subscribe, leave a like if you did. And with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day, and peace.